Mental health is about having a healthy mind and body. It influences how we feel about ourselves, what we do, how we think, and how we relate to others. Like physical health, mental health can change over time. Good mental health helps us to form positive relationships with others, handle life's ups and downs, and generally enjoy life. Mental health in early childhood is about young children's social and emotional well-being. It includes how children experience and express their emotions, how they develop relationships, and how they explore and discover their environment and the world around them. These skills and experience in early childhood play an important role in laying the foundations for lifelong good mental health and well-being.
Well, early childhood mental health for me always means children who have a range of good emotional abilities, social abilities that allows them to relate well to others and to express their needs, their desires.
Good mental health in early childhood, if it can be established, will set the frame for the rest of the child's life. The early years are so important in establishing the orientation the child will have to the world, which is the basis of good mental health.
One of the great things for a service that's involved in Kids Matter Early Childhood is that there's a language that's introduced around mental health. Some of the services that I've spoken to who at the beginning didn't think that they could use the term mental health, and when they introduced it along with social emotional well-being and social and emotional skill development, people started to use mental health language in a whole different way. And so educators, families all feel more confident about seeking help around mental health when the language is there, when it's become part of the everyday language of the early childhood service.
I think early childhood educators know that children and families are experiencing good mental health when they feel that there's a connection between the children and the families and educators, and there's, if you like, the forming of a relationship, a sense of the connectedness that people have with each other. I think early childhood educators need to be sensitive to that, so a mindfulness or a looking out for that opportunity to see how parents and children express their sense of identity and well-being to us on a daily basis. And of course the well-being and sense of strong mental health for children and families is not the only thing that's going on in a children's service. It's often the mental health and well-being sense of identity and strong social and emotional well-being for the educator team that's working with children.
There would be how they engage with the kids. Were they getting enjoyment out of their time with the children? Were they seeing the creativity in kids and actually connecting with that? Were they able to communicate with their co-workers about how they were finding the day, how's the day going? Were they able to communicate with their co-workers about planning what activities would happen? Did they feel able to participate and to assert what they thought would needed to happen in the childhood setting?
Educators in forming that culture where talking about mental health as part of the work that we do ensure that every educator weaves that into the work that they do on a regular basis. It's part of the observations they take, it's part of the discussions they have in reflective practice, it's part of what we record when we show parents children's learning. We talk about learning in terms of their social and emotional well-being. We talk about what it means to have a healthy to be healthy in terms of your mental health as well as your physical well-being. We incorporate it into that whole program, and that each educator in their work with children, if you're in an assistant role, if you're in a leading role, if you're a team member of any description, each one of us makes a commitment to be able to support children's holistic development and their holistic learning, and part of that is actually being mindful of children's mental health.
One of the things that educators and that a centre as a whole can do is make it pretty clear that ups and downs in life are normal and happen to everybody, that feelings, happy ones and sad ones, angry ones and excited ones, are all part of the normal scope. They're all part of the normal experience of life, and that there are times when you know things go well, and that there are times when things are a bit more difficult. And I think a centre where there's a feeling that it's actually okay to have a bad day. It's actually okay for a child to be a little bit out of sorts, or for a parent to be able to say, look, things are really difficult at the moment.
As we start to include the notion of mental health and focus on social and emotional well-being, everyone in the children's service feels much more at ease about seeking help and about discussing mental health.
In collaboration with families and the community, early childhood services are one of the best places to support children's mental health and well-being. Early childhood is a critical developmental period during which young children are experiencing relationships and learning skills which will support their mental health for life.